All right, so we are here live at the Vinyl Vault, and truth be told, I have not touched physical wax in over 10 to 15 years. So today what I'm going to do is I'm going to replace the Serato control vinyl and ditch all the HID modes, ditch all the MP3s specifically, and go back to that actual muscle memory, that feeling of what it was like to be a vinyl DJ. It sounds weird, right? A lot of you OGs are going to roll your eyes and say, yo, you've been a DJ for how long? And you're saying that, would you mind taking this? Hey, thanks, Joe. I went all digital the moment Final Scratch came out. I don't know if you remember that big puck that they were selling in the Pro Sound catalog. It was the one where you would take these RCAs and plug them in, and then you plug your computer in, and that would replace vinyl. When you would move the platter, something would happen on your computer screen, and this was revolutionary back in the time, and I saw that, and I said, I'm buying that, but the only way to buy it was I had to sell my vinyl to do it. So if you can imagine, I had a wall of records similar to this back home, and it was about $3,000 of vinyl that I finally sold for $1,500 just to buy this puck that I would hope would work with the computer. And when I called the guy at Pro Sound, he said, you sold your entire collection to get this? And I said, yeah. He's like, you're crazy. It's version 1. And I'll ship it to you, but I'll be honest, I've been getting a lot of returns on this because it's not compatible with people's laptops, people with those old Windows computers and the Dells and all that. We're trying to get the drivers working. And I was panicking because I was selling my vinyl, the ones I was using at clubs, and replacing it with digital. And this guy on Pro Sound is telling me it's not quite ready for public yet. And I'm like, shit. So all that time, I lost the muscle memory of what it was like to be an actual vinyl DJ. The J's started coming out, and the platters started turning into CDJs, and I just literally forgot what it was like to go and physically grab vinyl in so long. And I think we've lost that tactile feel. The slipping it out of the paper. The lyrics on the inside, remember when you got the Michael Jackson Thriller album, and you would open it up, and he'd be sitting there just with his white jacket on and his cougar. Was it a cougar or a tiger? But there was lyrics on the inside of it. And to me, it was astounding. I'm sorry, I'm going through memory lane here. I'm trying to pick out one here that I'm really excited to share. The Funky Mix series. This is what taught me how to DJ shortly after that Thriller album. I went and replaced all my old collection of vinyl just so I could have this moment again. I just wanted to get that feeling underneath my fingertips again. And Ultimix was one of the true remix vinyls before bootleggers and record pools started coming out with their own edits. What I mean by that is you would have a radio edit, and then it would have just a cold intro, cold outro. This was the first piece of wax where they would literally allow the DJ to have 8-bar intros, 32 beats or 64 beats going into allowing a DJ time. In fact, you want to zoom in on this really quick here. You can see on the vinyl, these would be the moments where you would mix out. This would be your moment, say, okay, I got this much time, and right about here, they're going to give you just a little bit of a loop to get your next mix in. I don't know why I still remember that. And snap it on there. I got to remember how it all began. I know it sounds ridiculous because I just honestly haven't played on these turntables in so long. I know the power's here and the start is here. I was talking to a DJ who's been digital all his life, and he just was playing on these turntables the other day. And he's like, hey, Aaron, why is it that when I push start on a turntable, it doesn't automatically start like a CDJ? Like when you start a CDJ under the cue point, it's underneath your fingertips, it fires off, no wind up. And it occurred to me, I realized, oh my gosh, it's got that torque that has to speed up. And the best analogy I can give you, the way to feel that is, you know, you're on like one of those Lime scooters or a Bird scooter, and you gotta kind of give it that kick before it takes off. That's exactly the feeling of one of these turntables here. You gotta kind of just give it a little bit of push. And that's the part I'm nervous about. That's the part I've been doing this for so long that my fear is that that torque, that feeling of dragging it, back and forth and that nudging. And more importantly, come over here, it's that old school pitch. Notice one thing that's missing? What's one thing missing? There's no sync button. What the? I've been a sync warrior since the button came out. And I'm just gonna have to do it. I'm just gonna have to rip the Band-Aid off and go with it. I'm assuming I go to my line level or phono level. Oh my gosh, it's been so long since I've done an actual phono setting on a mixer. Let's see if that works. We may not get sound out of it the first time. I do remember how light. Oh, if there's a trick here, I know that there was a way to counterbalance this weight, bring it back or forward. I'm not going to mess with it too much with that. I'm assuming it's right. But if I recall, this would help keep it from skating too far if you bounce it, and this would keep it from wobbling too up and down. So it was a real balancing act trying to get it to not, gyrate off the turntable. Why am I so nervous? Look at my fingers. Okay. Look, okay, so we got some action here. That's a good sign. I'm gonna grab my headphones. Put it into Q. It's looking cool. Woo! Give me a minute. Give me a minute. This is crazy. I remember I was like telling my parents, my parents were divorced, and I got them on a phone call for Christmas time, and I said, hey, Mom, Dad, I know you're not getting along very well, but will you please go halves on finding me a pair of Technics 1200 turntables? And they're like, nah, you're not gonna be able to get a career out of this. I saved up, I finally got my own pair of Technics 1200 turntables, and I'm just, all these memories are coming back to me. I'm getting it's not you, it's me. All right, let me get to the first beat. I'm hearing it in my headphones. I'll let you hear it in a second. Okay, I think I found the first beat. Okay. Let you all hear it. See, I lost it already. I lost it underneath my finger. There it is. And I lost it again. I want to get that bass beat underneath my finger. Okay. Set my crossfader. Okay. It's just that right feeling. It's that you don't want to touch too hard. You don't want to go too, it's just that right balance. It's almost like you want it to almost stop moving. You want this belt to stop moving, but not too much. See what I mean? It's like, I'm assuming it's because I don't have enough weight on the front. Am I wrong, Jay? You see anything here? What's that? Move the weight in. Okay. We got people in the background looking at me like, this kid's getting a lesson. Okay, yeah. Okay, that's better. Yeah. Okay, cool. Got it. Okay, so we know, come in here. The Funky Mix series had a lot of cool cheat codes that other records didn't have. You're hearing this 8-bar intro underneath me? Guarantee it's gonna be coming up in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, right here. So you got intros, and on the label here it says you got 102 BPM. So let's try and find one that's similar. Okay, so I found, this will be great. Men in Black, Will Smith, 108.
Showed up with it. I was not expecting this.
Well, I just came from lunch.
I was about to ask you to stop and maybe help me out, but I know that you heard the story. I went out and bought some vinyl, and I'm just about ready to start mixing 102 with 108s, and I finally got the. I feel like I got the pressure down. You were talking about the paper earlier.
Yes.
Tell me about the paper.
So if you take a piece of paper, if you don't have a turntable, one way to emulate this is to just grab a piece of paper. This is a vinyl sleeve, but you can use any piece of paper. Put it on a table, and this motion. You want to hear this on the mic?
Yeah.
So this. It gives you an idea of how much pressure to put on this, right? So in the same way, right? When I've got a Slipmat on here. You got like, this actually is two. This has a plastic and then also the Slipmat.
Got it.
And this allows for me to, as the turntable is playing, you see how it's running underneath it? So what I usually tell people is put all the pressure down to stop the platter. And then start to lift your hand and get lighter and get as light as you possibly can where it still stays in place, but the platter's moving under it.
Okay.
That's how much pressure.
I had a problem earlier over here, and I was having a hard time getting the first beat caught under it. It kept jumping. I kept skipping.
Well, the other thing is you want to calibrate the needle. So this is probably too much weight on this needle. So the way to do this is I've got to pull the counterweight back. Actually, here's what I do. Here's the old school trick. You take the needle, flip it upside down, so you actually don't hit the stylus part. So I'm trying to get this to be even. It's like the, you know, that old school scale at the gym or wherever?
Yeah.
So you want to get this to where it's floating. You see how it's floating?
Yeah.
This is now 0. So this is the independent dial here. I've set this to 0. You see how I can move this?
Oh, okay. So that's
So I
the
set that
master.
to 0.
Got it.
And now I need to put, for this needle, I need to be about 3.5 grams on that. And so flip this. There's also 4 pins inside the Tonearm. Sometimes you need to do the old Nintendo blow.
The cartridge, yeah.
Yeah. And then you connect it that way. But on this as well,
Okay.
so we got
This over here, that keeps everyone going left. to
anti-skid,
right.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so I generally, anti-skid, yeah, so I generally set this to 0. And that might help with it. Yeah. So your anti-skate was pulling back, and that's why, or pulling forward, which is why it was jumping.
This is a button I have never seen before on the 1200. Is that what I think it is? Is that a times 2? Does that make this 4?
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah. So this will make it double. Now, I have a general rule of thumb with BPM, especially when manually beatmatching, plus or minus 4.
Okay. What? Tell
So,
me
like,
why you say.
Because, especially when you're dealing with the pitch, remember we're using vinyl records, so there is no key lock.
Right.
So you're going to get that pitched up sound, and so the closer they are in BPM, the more natural the song is going to sound.
Okay.
Otherwise, you're going too low or too high. So plus or minus 4 generally is my rule of thumb, and I use that even with digital DJing too.
That gives me a little more freedom. My selections over here.
Yeah.
And Hop is hanging out. Oh my gosh. This is DJ Coach. I've been watching on YouTube for years, and here I am doing a YouTube video with him. Is this real life? Let's do what we were trying to do earlier. We're going to see if I can successfully match Take It to the Streets with Men in Black. Now, I pinch. I don't know about you. I see some DJs do this. I've always been a pincher, and I always like rub the label off. I think I got it. No. Oh, almost had it. Like shoes in the dryer right now. Get down, get back up again. I think I know what to do next. I need to reach for another record. Got to start to respect music again. I can't put this into words eloquently enough. There's something about the relationship with music that we're losing, and I feel we have to force ourselves to get uncomfortable with it again. I'm gonna fool myself on YouTube just so I can make you feel a little bit better that, you know, there's something special here. And that moment was real. I was genuinely getting that, all those nostalgic moments, the time that Mom bought me records and the collection I was trying to build back in the beginning. This is true. This is the true art form, and I forgot it. I genuinely did until today. But now we're back. Thank you for tuning in. The Vinyl Vault will continue to host little sessions like this as long as you subscribe. Happy.